Okay. So we just got through seeing Straight Outta Compton.
I was the only white person in the theater.
I'm going to say this. You need to see this movie. This movie was everything that it needed to be.
I was actually expecting the worst, actually, because you know how, okay, so I'm going to get a little real on you guys for a second, but in terms of like portrayal of black people in media, I mean, but most of the time when you see black people in media, it's a very negative portrayal. I mean, look at just current events now, really.
And but for this movie, I felt like they really cared about it. Like, it wasn't just, let's make a little cute movie about how great NWA is and how, you know what I'm saying? Like, people always get caught up in that, like, oh, it's not the reality. But, like, as far as I know about NWA, and this is the really good part, I felt like they were actually very faithful to the big events that happened in their lives.
Yeah, so, I guess right now we should totally tell you that spoilers are going to happen because...
Probably, yeah.
Because we're going to get into the nitty gritty and I really feel bad for people who are like, oh, let's watch this vlog, and then all of a sudden
well, if you don't want to hear anything, we're telling you right now you need to go to see it. But if you want to get into the intricate details, keep listening.
Yeah.
I felt like this movie gave you the reality of this group.
It flowed in a way that seemed like you were actually in that time period.
Like you were watching this play out. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and I want to say right now, in terms of casting, the only person related to somebody was Ice Cube's kid playing Ice Cube. Everybody else was not related to the other rappers.
But they looked so perfect.
I literally thought I was looking at Dr. Dre.
Especially when it got later on to the movie and you see him wearing the thing that, you know, he's known for wearing, like the black leather jacket. I was like, this motherfucker is Dr. Dre.
I legitimately did a double take when Ice Cube came in into one scene.
When he cut the hair.
When he cut his hair, and I was like, oh shit, is that Ice Cube?
Yeah, it was like,
I did a double take.
Did they actually like change out the actors in the middle of the movie?
Yeah, and I found out that no, that was the same dude the entire time.
As you're watching it, you will get into it. You will be like, I'm watching their lives happening. The only thing I'll say when it comes to casting is, and me and Muse had to think about this, where the fuck was Arabian Prince?
Oh yeah, that was like the only thing he kept talking about on the way back. He was like, where the fuck was Arabian Prince?
There was a couple of scenes where there were 6 guys, and I was like, wait, which one's Arabian Prince? It's like, is that guy? No, that's MC Ren. Well, who's the... And then he just goes away.
And we never hear from him again.
Nothing feels rushed. Nothing ever feels like, they skipped through that.
There's only one part of the entire film where it drags, and that's in a scene where they talk about...
Where the diss tracks happen.
But
see, I disagreed. I liked it. I was in my seat watching it just like... Because
his entire leg was bouncing, and I kept having to go, stop it!
I was like, oh, first of all, okay, this is a killer soundtrack. This
soundtrack is amazing.
Every song is like... Because, you know, a lot of the songs, they are songs that they've sampled. And so you're hearing it, and you're going like, ooh, like... That's where they pick these little pieces from for the music. You know, and I love how they had the riots.
Yeah, and I feel like the juxtaposition of them going through the neighborhood is basically they are not them, they are their music.
Yeah.
It's really more of a juxtaposition of Ice Cube and Dre are responsible for this
like
because of their
fueling
because their music.
Yeah.
Not because they were physically there. Yeah, and I think that's a really good touch.
Oh, it was a beautiful moment.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Police arrest them.
That was a great moment.
Detroit riots happen. Then Ice Cube leaves the group and says, hey, fuck this,
because the contracts were kind of screwy. He was
they even bring that up. They bring up the contract thing, but they're left really ambiguous. And
that's
later
the one thing
and we'll mention that later when we bring up like why it was ambiguous.
Yeah. So
after Ice Cube leaves, this is what happens. Go ahead.
Okay, when Ice Cube leaves, this is the part that you were talking about. They make the diss records. And NWA does the thing where they're like, oh, fuck him, we're going to put out the EP, and on it we're going to talk about, like, fuck Ice Cube. And then, you know, I like the way they portrayed it realistically. Like, Ice Cube was like, I didn't say anything about you guys. I made my record by myself. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to diss you motherfuckers back. And then it has that long period where you're hearing every shot that Ice Cube makes to NWA. And it's like, they're sitting in their chair. And I was sitting in my chair going like, just watching their reactions and just seeing like how angry they were at each other.
No, my favorite part of the entire movie was literally like, Eazy-E and Jerry Heller stand up and go, we're gonna go sue these motherfuckers. And who is it? Is it
DJ Yella?
DJ Yella's like, yeah, good luck with that.
No, he's like, I thought it was kind of funny. No. Now, what I think is was a brilliant piece of like writing and acting there was that like you see him getting upset. It's like, how dare he make fun of me for being a Jew? Like, da da da. And it's like, I noticed he's kind of like skipping over the whole, our contracts were screwed up. What's up with that? And like making it like, well, he's made fun of me for being Jewish. That's fucked up. We're gonna get on this. It's like, why are you focusing on that and not the point? Because it's not like he said any like anti-Semitic actual words.
No, he just said Jew.
Yeah, you let a Jew just break up. He didn't say like K word or anything like that.
Yeah, he didn't say any.
And so it's like that's funny how you're trying to like switch it.
Because Suge Knight is that
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight. I'm sorry.
You're so white.
No, I really, like, every time they said his name, I was like, I don't know what the fuck they said.
I like how they show him, like, sort of show up at the beginning. He's just like, oh, hey, I'm just a bodyguard. And they kind of, like, I like how they have little bits of dialogue that give you, like,
what he's like.
That sprinkle around, like, what's going on in, like, peripheries. Like, with the accident with the DOC. Like, they didn't need to put that in there, but they put that in there because it's a good, like, moment to be like, okay, this is why Dr. Dre needs to do this now.
Yeah,
brilliant writing.
So Knight basically not really coerces, but really starts planting the seeds for Dre.
Yeah, he's like, do you see how he didn't give a shit? You see how Eazy-E's label didn't give a shit about the DOC? That might happen to you. You should try to like get out from under the gun.
So Dre agrees with him and leaves and starts his own thing, Death Row Records.
But then Suge Knight turns out to be even more fucking crazy. Like
then Eazy-E.
Yeah, and so he's like, okay, I want to do my own thing because I'm like, and this is actually true. Like the thing is, it's so easy how they could have romanticized this, but the way that I've known NWA, a lot of the things that they're showing and the things that they tell you, it's like, no, I remember, like, yes, that is a thing that happens. Like that's. You know what I'm saying?
We find out that Eazy-E has been diagnosed with AIDS.
Yeah, and he's been ignoring it for a long
time because he's been making amends with Ice Cube and Dre. He goes to visit Ice Cube in a club and says, "Hey, I want to get NWA back together." And he calls
and this
Dre.
really happened. Like this is all real.
Yeah, this is all real. And he calls Dre and he goes, "Dre, I would really like it if you and Ice Cube and I and like everybody can get back together without Jerry Heller. Like, fuck that guy."
And what's really sad is that it's like you see Ice Cube's doing very well. You see Dr. Dre's doing very well. Eazy-E's kind of like not doing very well. He's getting screwed over with the bill. And that's once again where it comes back to the like, how is this money thing going on?
Yeah.
Like once again going back to the ambiguity of like, what happened with the fucking money?
Yeah. And the other thing is, and then so Eazy-E dies. And we see the news footage of like all. That's the other thing about this movie. This movie does not just show actual fictionalized things. They intercut it with actual news footage.
Yeah,
like they
so
show
it gives you the
Rodney,
taste of the time.
Yeah, they show you the Rodney King beating. They show you the reaction to the Detroit riots via news footage. Like they show you these things.
Yeah, like how it goes like straight from like. It shows it like because they show you the Rodney King footage, like they show it.
Yeah, they show it. They don't just sugarcoat it. They fucking show you the whole thing.
And then when it comes to that point where they're like, none of them have been accused of like using excessive force, and then that's when the montage happens. And it's like,
and everybody goes, what the fuck?
This has needed to be immortalized on film for over 20 fucking years. Yeah. And it happens. And it's so fucking beautiful.
And so Eazy-E dies, and we find, and we do this. And then the very last thing that happens in the movie is they show actual footage of NWA and people they've influenced. You see people like Eminem and Kanye,
Kendrick Lamar,
like
all the people
who were influenced by
great.
Dre
and of course the Beats by Dre headphones.
Yeah, and by Beats by Dre. I was like, thank you, Dre, at any time. But no, it was one of those movies that it really, and I think that this is really the perfect time to drop this.
Okay.
Because of 3 reasons. Number 1, it is the 20th year after Eazy-E's death.
Yeah, because he died 95, right?
Yeah, he died in 1995. He would have been 51 if he had, lived. Mm-hmm. The other 2 reasons is because black police violence on Black America is a huge hot topic right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might say, well, Ice Cube and Dre and, they're cashing in on the whole blah, blah, blah. But no, here's the thing. The thing about this movie is that it's teaching you that this has been going on
it's like
forever, since Martin Luther King. Like, even Selma shows...
It shows you the reality of, like, no, shit didn't get cute, and then all of a sudden in 2004...
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I love how it shows the constant police harassment.
Yeah, it doesn't just go, like, one or two instances. It shows, like... when Ice Cube comes out of the house at the very beginning, he gets stopped and they drop his books and they drop him on a car, and his parents are across the street not being able to do anything about it.
And what I love is that, like, they also portrayed them realistically, because, like, Dre and Ice Cube, they weren't really, like, involved in, like, gangster violent shit like that, but Eazy was. And I like how it starts off the movie like that. And I like how it shows the battering ram, which a lot of people might not know about that. How they used to go to, like, neighborhoods and just have a huge battering ram and just, like, break through the fucking... Like, they got a tank and just broke through people's doors. They used it a couple of times out in, I think it was Compton. And, like, they would conduct raids like that. And sometimes they would hit the wrong fucking houses. And so, like, well, now you've got these people's houses fucking destroyed. So, like, I like how it portrayed that, like, real piece of, like, American history.
Yeah, you're right. But I want to address this, and this is the reason I'm doing this vlog with Rap Critic.
What?
The misogyny thing.
Okay.
I want to...
All right,
it is my turn to rant. Shut the hell up. Sorry.
Okay, so Jess had to take a call. But
my bad.
He put out Compton a soundtrack, which he, like, I'm not sure if he hinted that it was supposed to be a part of the movie, but he just said that it's a thing that I put out. And then when you watch the movie, a couple of the songs are actually in the movie, so it's like, oh, you sleep, motherfucker, you, like...
Yeah, I
thought that was really dope. And we were talking about the misogyny of the movie.
Yeah, like, like we were saying before, it was more, like, layered into NWA's persona, not more about it.
That's not what their whole thing is about. It's not like their most famous song is about...
killing bitches.
Yeah, like, even though they have had those songs, but, like, their most famous song is about, like, the idea of this is the reality of what's going on with them. You know, when it comes to the misogyny, though, I feel like I don't want to feel like I'm not, like, addressing it or that I'm, like, trying to smooth it over. But I do kind of feel like first of all, that's not the main point of the movie.
Well,
and second of all, it does address it in the proper way, in the proper context of this movie that's supposed to be about these guys' careers.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like how, like, the person who wrote about it, I just don't like how they kind of, like, expected the movie to stop and just talk about, you know, like, misogyny and hip-hop for a minute. It's I'm really sweaty about this movie. I also kind of like how when the movie starts, it has that scene with his mom, where she's
she pimp slaps
like
his ass.
She's like, and he's like, and he just kind of goes like you know what I'm saying? And I feel like there was.
But she was a very good supporting character.
She was a good supporting character later on, but I feel like earlier in the movie she had this very sort of like, I'm downing you because I feel like you need to do this, and you know she has her explanation. Like she's like I worked from this.
Yeah, She literally says to him, I worked from nothing. I'm not going to let you throw this all away because you want to do this music thing. And I understand that because every parent wants their child to succeed.
I feel like it puts their the aspect of their relationships with women and this, that, and the third in like certain proper contexts, because it's not like they're actually treating like they never treat their girlfriends like shit.
He never treat his mother.
Back to his mom.
He never talks back to his mother. I mean, they have party scenes on the bus where they're fucking bitches.
Yeah, and it's
mean, there's a really big general context versus, because in the party scenes with girls, like with the girls, I mean, their tits are hanging out, and
it's just like, whoa.
There are a lot of tits.
I felt like it would have been fucked up if they didn't show that at all. Yeah. If they were just like, no, we never objectify women at all. No, I think I think that it's important, and it was smart that they put those scenes in there.
Yeah.
Where they do that.
And then on the other hand, you have their girlfriends and their wives and their kids and Dre's mom, and they are all treated respectfully. Yeah. Like, they're not treated like, you know, fuck bitches get money.
Yeah, no, he never, like, Ice Cube never
says anything terrible about his wife, ever. In Straight Outta Compton, there is a distinct difference between a woman and a hoe. And I feel like I'm the only person who could say that because I'm the only person in this vlog with tits.
But I feel like it's important that they show that, even though, like I said, I'm not saying that it's good that they treated the women that they treated like that, but that's the reality of what happened. Now, what I like about them showing that is that now you can say through that, okay, we got to change that. I feel like they would be a disservice, once again, if they left out the misogynistic themes, because that's a part of their lives. But once again, bringing it back to the movie portrays the 90s and them as realistically as possible. Like you said, when Eazy-E finds out he has AIDS, like, he speaks realistically.
He goes, I didn't fuck no faggot.
Yeah, like
he literally says that. And
like that, like that's how someone back then would talk.
Yeah, they wouldn't talk like, oh, this gay person.
It's like how could this possibly happen? No, like that's the language of it.
Yeah,
because people still kind of were going through that shit.
Yeah,
where
and
they
he was
like
I didn't have sex with no homo. Like,
yeah, and
you
it's
know,
like,
and then the doctor was like, well, you can get it heterosexually.
Yeah, and it's like you can't get it through this, you can get it through this, and da da da. And it was like, and his brain is.
And then you see, and then you remember that there were a lot of parties he threw.
Yeah,
there was a lot of shit,
and that's what brings it back around. It's like that's a reality, and that's what that's the price he had to pay for.
He fucking,
you know what I'm saying?
He fucked. Well, I feel really bad for saying this, but seriously, he literally fucked the wrong bitch. And I feel really bad for saying that because the movie is at the very end of the movie. It does say in loving memory of Eazy-E.
Oh, okay. So, let's talk about that part now.
Yeah.
So, of course, the movie's not completely factually accurate. And part of that was the early thing we said about when it comes to the money's kind of funny. Like, it doesn't tell you exactly what was going on with the contracts.
The reason for that is because the movie was dedicated to Eazy-E. The thing that I like about this movie is, for the first half of the movie, I actually hated Eazy-E because I thought he was treating other people shadily. But here's the thing. When he finally stands up for himself and when he finally tells Jerry, get the fuck out of my life, like, that's the point. And when he gets beat up by Night, too.
Oh, yeah.
And, all these things happen to him. And then he gets, they compound on top of him. And you finally, when he's once he collapses and you see him in the hospital with all these tubes and wires in him, and the doctor comes and tells him, by the way, you have, AIDS. The guy, you just see him break. And I feel like the reason for that is, like we said before, this is based on factual things. So if this all really did happen, I would think that would be enough to break a guy like Eazy-E.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
someone who thought he was on top of the world, nothing bad could happen to him.
And then he has to give up people. Yeah, he has to give up his house. He has to he's got a pregnant wife.
He's losing his friends.
He fucking fires Jerry, and then on top of everything else, he and his wife find out that he has AIDS, but we don't know if your pregnant wife does. So
and it's that's a lot of shit to deal with.
So
did I just give my child AIDS?
Yeah, he basically thinks to himself. He probably thought to himself at some point, did I
fucked over my life? Yeah.
I fucked over my life, number one, and number two, is my kid going to pay for my mistakes?
Yeah, and so that's what I like about that movie. Like, it does, so, when you see, that's what I don't like. It's like, the person who criticized it probably just saw, the titties and ass at the beginning, and was just like, this movie is just perpetuating that. It's like, no, watch what's happening.
The trailer doesn't really show you the humanity.
No.
The trailer...
Everyone's trying to get asses in seats.
Yeah, the trailer literally shows, the riots and the beginning of NWA and the whole fuck the police thing. They don't really show the in-between and the aftermath.
The individuality of the characters.
Yeah. Because of the album and because of this movie, you can really see the arc of where rap was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah, it gives you that.
And
with Dr. Dre wearing the silly coat.
With Dr. Dre wearing a silly coat, and then by the end of the movie, he's wearing his traditional leather jacket.
Yeah.
And you can see that by the end of the movie, you can see where rap is headed.
In summation, it's a good movie. It has fantastic soundtrack, fantastic immersion, great story.
I will say this: if you're white, go see this movie because it really does teach you a lot about police violence, even in the 90s.
And here's the thing: people might watch the scenes where they get harassed by police, and it'll say oh, it's exaggeration. It's like, it's only exaggeration in the sense that you only have 2.5 hours to show something. So, they're going to condense, this happening so that they can show you. Yeah, exactly. Because it's okay, not everyone every day is being harassed by police, but enough that it's a fucking problem.
Yeah, just quick side note, there's a In the trailer as well, you see it. Paul Giamatti tries to defend them to the cops.
Yeah.
And they still get in, and the cop goes, "No, you got to stay on the ground." And then literally 5 seconds later, okay, now you can get up.
Yeah, it's such a dick, like, sort of like, I'm the person who's in charge here because I'm the police. Like, it's just like, like fucking...
And even that point, I was like, okay, if that's really happening, that's some bullshit.
And that's what I like. It never portrays anyone as completely a villain, because even though later on, like, Jerry Heller is kind of like vilified, like, it kind of gets to that point where we need to get the fuck away from Jerry Heller, but they never 100% portray him as the bad guy, because he is looking out for them at certain points.
Don't go to see it because you want to see the life of NWA, because it is romanticized a little tiny bit, but go because you respect the creators behind it.
And I say go because you want to see a moment in American history.
Yeah, and go because
like
you want to see
American history. You
want to see a moment of, like, a lot of people talk about Selma being really good because of the moment of Martin Luther King. But here's the thing: the difference between Selma and Martin Luther King versus NWA is most of those motherfuckers is still alive.
Yeah, like, it's like,
NWA,
this just happened.
Yeah, NWA happened like 25 years ago.
Yeah, you can divorce yourself from Selma if you want to. You can be like, oh, look what happened 50 years ago. I think that's what makes it more poignant. Because it's like, this didn't just go away.
This has been happening.
These social ills and these social problems are weaving throughout our
It happened
history.
it's happened in the 50s, it happened in the 80s and 90s, and it's happening now. I honestly went into it thinking, oh my god, they're gonna fuck this up. And because I know what black representation looks like in
and just
film.
biopics in general. Like, they usually go through a similar, like, they go to great, they do drugs, and it does, and then there's the resurrection. Like, it kind of all that, but it's a fresher take on it.
Yeah.
And it's a more poignant take on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of biopics are very, like, about the artists just themselves, but it weaves in and out the reality of the artist. Well, anyway, we're gonna sign off because this is long now. We're gonna have to cut some shit out.
That's fine.
But
Alright, so I'm Lady Jess.
And I'm Rap Critic.
And the next time you see us together, we're gonna be doing the jazz singer.